Hello everyone. As Franklin Roosevelt said, all we have to fear is fear itself. Yes, this quotation is very well used by William O. Douglas in his work Deep Water. So friends, today we are going to discuss chapter 3 of your Flamingo textbook, that is Deep Water by William O. Douglas. So let's start. Deep Water by William Douglas. This chapter is taken from the book Men and Mountains by William O. Douglas himself. Let us say something about the author William O. Douglas. William O. Douglas is by profession a lawyer, a justice, a retired justice who served for 36 years, which is considered to be the longest service. William O. Douglas has written the book Men and Mountains, and this chapter, Deep Water, is an excerpt taken from his essay, where he tells us about his experience of being a child who was so scared of water. Deep Water is an autobiographical personal experience of William O. Douglas. William O. Douglas is narrating his experience of being scared of water. He describes all those incidents which led to his fear of water, and the whole story or whole excerpt is about his overcoming of this fear of water. So let's move on to the explanation. So in the beginning of the story, we get introduced to William O. Douglas himself. The narrator of the story is William O. Douglas. As I told you, it's an autobiographical account, his own personal experience that he is narrating here. William O. Douglas narrates a story when he was 10 or 11 years old. William tells us that he plans to take swimming lessons at YMCA club. In YMCA club, he tries to swim in the pool because he wants to learn the life skill of swimming. And the reason that he gives is that he really needs to be learning this life skill, as it is very important, as he resides near Yakima River. And Yakima River can turn out to be treacherous anytime. That means there can be flood, or there can be situations when you should know how to swim. So William starts telling us that he is ready for his swimming classes. He goes to the swimming pool. He goes to the club with all the equipments needed for swimming, water wings. So all those, he's ready with all those equipments needed for learning swimming. Let me explain this story in a very easy manner. In this story, or in this excerpt, William O. Douglas tells us that there are two incidents that made him scared of water, or that made him frightened of water. Those two incidents that developed aversion to water were, first incident is when he was 3 to 4 years old, and the second incident happened when he was 9 to 11 years. When he was 3 to 4 years old, he went to California beach and a huge wave hit him and knocked him down. The water of the wave suffocated him and he could not breathe properly, and that made him scared of water. After that incident, William did not have any experience of water. So now, this was the first incident that made him scared of water. After this incident, now he is 9 to 11 years old, and now he plans to learn swimming. But another incident happened, and that is when he starts learning swimming. At YMCA club, when he was learning swimming, a big boy of 18-year-old pushed him into the water, threw him into the water. So these two incidents made him so scared of water. William O. Douglas very vividly describes in detail how he felt when he was drowning in the water, when he was being thrown into the water by this big boy. This big boy pushed him into the water, threw him into the water, and William was thrown into the water in a sitting position. And while he was going down into the water, this was an unexpected situation for him. He was going deep down in the water, but William says that he did not lose his mind. He could still think. And what he thought of an idea that he would, when he will hit the bottom of the swimming pool, he would jump back like a cork and come to the surface of the water. So while drowning itself, William planned all this. This was William's plan. It's very important. Remember that William planned to come back or jump like a cork to come to the surface of the water. But the plan didn't work. When he went to the bottom of the surface, he tried to jump and he somehow came above the water, but he could not hold himself. His legs pulled him down, and again he went down. While the second time when he was down there, William thought to jump back. Yes, he tried hard. He came up again, but this time his lungs were filled with water. His head was pounding. He could only feel his heart beating. So he thought that yes, still he is alive, from which he could make that he was alive. Now at this point of time, William was so helpless. He wanted to call for help. He wanted to call for his mother. He tried a lot, but he could not get hold of him. He could only see the yellow water in front of him. So next time when he was again going into the water, he felt paralyzed. He felt drowsiness, and he could feel that he's about to lose his consciousness. William was somehow comforted that yes, it is good that he was becoming drowsy, because so that he can stop his struggle right now. And finally, when William opened his eyes, William found himself outside the swimming pool. Someone had saved him, and he was vomiting. This incident made him so scared of water that after that, William did not even dare to look near at the water. The most important part here to note that when William was taken out of the water, the big boy said that, "But I was fooling." Yes, children, it's the best example of bullying. Yes, many senior students tend to bully the young children, and that makes a lasting impact. It could be a very grave impact on their minds. And that's what happened with William also. William after that tried many times going near to the water for boating, for canoeing, for fishing, but he could not do that. That's what William says in the story also, that I could not even go for fishing trips. So you can see what a bad impact this second incident had on William. So we saw that after California beach incident, William tried to go and learn swimming, but this second incident really made him so scared of water that he did not want to look at the water also. After that swimming pool incident, William could not face water. He tried many times going near the water, but he could not do that. And he tells us, he gives the name of various places that he visited, various beaches, lakes, water sources that he visits, and he tries to go near the water, experience the water through canoeing, boating, fishing, but he was not able to face the water. He still had that terrifying, monstrous terror seizing him every time when he goes near the water. After that, William tells us, although I had a bad experience, I decided that I would have an instructor. So that's the month of October when William decides that I will have an instructor to teach me swimming. He hires an instructor. Now William tells us how he got trained for swimming. So let's see. So William got an instructor to learn swimming. Instructor made William practice swimming by putting a belt around him. The first thing was that he put a belt around him so that William feels safe in the water. Next, he gives William practice of putting his face in the water and exhaling and inhaling. The practice of exhaling and inhaling was done repeatedly. Then he teaches William to how to kick with his legs. And that's how the instructor taught William to swim. And William started swimming on his own, and he started with the crawl stroke. This was the first stroke, or this was the type of stroke that he practiced. The narrator of William tells us that he started practicing with the instructor in the month of October, and by the end of April he has learned swimming, or the instructor told him that now you can swim. But William still had those fears, those small short fears coming, that terror coming to his mind, whether he'll be able to still face the water. He was good at swimming in the pools, but now he wanted to try the natural sources of water. So he decided that he will go to Lake Wentworth for swimming, and fortunately he was able to swim 2 miles in Lake Wentworth. And this made William so confident in swimming, and after that he tried so many places, whether beaches, cascades, rivers, everywhere. He was perfecting the art of swimming and he could swim without any fear. So in the end, William says that he has now conquered his fear. Yes, with his determination, with his willpower, with those 2 major incidents of his life, those bad, worst experiences of his life, still he was able to overcome the fear, and he fought with his fear, and finally he learned the art of, or the life skill of swimming. As I told you in the beginning, William states, Franklin Roosevelt, all we have to fear is the fear itself. You have to fear the fear itself. He says that death is peace. It's a very important quotation from the text. The writer says that death is peace and the terror is only in the fear of death. This is a very important quotation, friends, that you have to remember. Here the author is trying to say that when you die you are in peace, but always fearing of death. The fear of death actually terrorizes you. So fear is the biggest terror in your life. So that's the biggest lesson that we learn from this chapter. Let it be any kind of fear. You should have the determination and willpower like our William had to overcome his fear, to strengthen his will to fight against that fear. So let us summarize this chapter quickly. So in this chapter, we got to know that William had 2 experiences with the water. First, when he was 3 to 4 years old at California Beach. Second, 9 to 11 years old at YMCA Club. The incident of YMCA Club is explained in detail in the text, and that is very important for your examination. How William struggled in the water, how he tried to jump out of the water, how he thought that he will be facing death, how he thought that the curtain of life will fall. So all these feelings and experiences are very important from the point of view examination. Then you have to remember that after these incidents, or after especially the second incident, he could not face the water, and then we have to remember how he overcame his fear. So he overcame his fear by hiring an instructor to learn swimming, and the way he taught him swimming, that is very important. So friends, I hope this chapter is very much clear to you. So let's find the most important questions from this chapter, which will help you to prepare for your board examination.
As a part of your question practice, it is important to understand the most important quotation from this text. So let's see. I crossed to oblivion and the curtain of life fell. Number 2, piece by piece, he built a swimmer. Number 3, but I remembered the strategy. Number 4, but the jump made no difference. Number 5, this handicap stayed with me as the years rolled by. So friends, finding explanation of these lines will help you to practice this chapter better and score good marks in your examination. So please do find the answers of these quotes and score good marks.
So to find the explanation of other chapters and more topics, do follow this channel.